Unmuted. Muted.
Here with us. Thank you for coming. On behalf of Dr. Wilkins and I and the Meharry-Vanderbilt Alliance and all the wonderful community participants, all the community engaged scholars, all the people that work every day in the fields of healthcare and population health, want to thank you for coming and being part of this conference. It's my understanding this is the 8th time that we've gathered, and I think that's a testimony to the importance of this work and why we're all here. So with that, I'm going to attempt to do some housekeeping. I think everybody found the food. If you want to know where the bathrooms are, I think of it this way. You go out past the elevators, they're that way. Or you can make a circle and go around this way and then go past the elevators. The breakout rooms are going to be behind the elevators, and the posters are going to be on the 3rd floor. So that's about all I know. Anything else, you have to ask Dr. Wilkins and her Meharry-Vanderbilt Alliance team. I'm Charles Mouton. I'm at Meharry Medical College. I'm a professor of community and family medicine. I was just speaking to one of my friends and colleagues that I have returned from the dark side, so y'all should welcome me back. If y'all don't know what that means, when you go into administration and come back, that's going from the dark side. So I have returned, so this is like the Star Wars movie, You Found Luke, so they found me. And so I'm excited and glad to be back. So without further ado, we're going to talk about why we're here. We're here to, first off, re-engage with each other, because the important work that you do is so important that we do that and help us to re-engage about the work that we do on a day-to-day basis. We're here to really convene as researchers and other stakeholders to talk about the importance of community-engaged research. We really want to look at our approaches to make sure that we're doing things right, that we're moving the signs of community engagement along. We want to make sure that we are ready and energized to make sure that all research in this country and in the world remembers the community that it's designed to serve, that it's designed to improve the health of. And so with that, we want to ensure that community engagement happens in all phases of research. We also want to reinvigorate the notion that it's critical to population health and particularly health disparities. The objective for this conference is to look at the methods, think about innovative and effective methods where we can engage the communities that we work with. It's also designed to look at best practices for sustaining this work, because it's often difficult to continue moving the community engagement research. I guess it's not up the hill so much. I guess it's flat now. And then obviously expand the scientific basis for community-based research. And we all know this figure. This is the famous translational figure. We now know that research needs to have better alignment. This was promulgated at least most recently in 2015, looking at basic science research, going to translational research involving humans, so going from cells to humans, then translating that to patients. And then in the world that I spend a lot of my time in, this world of I have to be mousing it. Going from patients to practice, and then finally that translation to the community. This continuum is where a lot of the translational science has been focused on. But within our research organizations, it really has a community component. And I'm going to start from this end, in the importance of shared leadership, the importance that this translational continuum also engages the community, and that we engage the community as part of our research efforts and leadership along that research continuum. It involves collaboration. I was just thinking before I came up here, looking at the way we've engaged and how so many of you have come together, reuniting old acquaintances, re-engaging and re-energizing each other in your research. The importance of community, and community that being the place where we as individuals come together as a society. And it really gets to our core of being human. And that's why we do the work that we do, is we understand the importance of collaboration and engaging because we're humans. And we emphasize that in terms of our research and what we do. Make sure that we involve the community in terms of the research creation, the research paradigm, the research design, answering the research questions, understanding the research results, and reporting those results, and the meaning that those results have for the community that we've worked with, using them to consult with us, to educate us, to help us understand what we're doing, and finally having that outreach component to make sure we get in touch all aspects of our research community. So it's important that resources or services really look at the stakeholder engagement and that it really happens at all phases. Many of us involved, I guess almost all of us involved with CTSA, one of the major NIH funding initiatives. And we all know the importance if we're going to do research that's headed up by our academic health centers. That's where most of our research is housed in America. That if we're going to house that research and have that answer the questions that are important for the health of the country, the community that these institutions serve has to have a major role in helping to design and implement that research. Then following that, we have the compelling health needs. Our communities are still hurting. I happen to be a practicing physician. Some would argue I'm practicing more than I probably should. But it allows me to be on the ground. I have the opportunity and the privilege to engage with patients and see the suffering that many of them have. I have the honor and privilege to go out to rural Tennessee on occasion, and I'm always struck by the great, compelling need that the communities in this country need. And they need our research, they need our work, they need our engagement to help them cope with their health. They need us to make sure that they can get a job and go to work, and sustain their family. They need our help to make sure that they can live lives that are pain-free. And it's up to us, the community of community-engaged scholars, to not answer the question, what does the genome mean for a particular cell? But what does the genome mean for my population? And make sure that that translation goes from the molecular basis directly back to the community so that their health can be improved today, tomorrow, and in the future. So I hope you use this opportunity at this conference to begin to do that, begin to drive the question of how do we make the health of our communities better. And with that, I'm going to bring up my co-chair, who really deserves all the credit. I'm just sort of the front man. I'm trying to learn to be the sidekick, so, and I'll turn it over to my esteemed colleague, Dr. Wilkins.
Thank you. So I would join Charles in welcoming you. I can't tell you how excited I am to see so many people that I know and so many people that I want to know here. The most important thing is to get past the welcome to all of the exciting things that we've planned for you today. But I just want to spend a couple more minutes talking about the importance of today and tomorrow and the work that we're doing. The slide that you see now is one that we adapted from Ann Bonham's presentation a couple of years ago, which I think really strikes home where we are and where we need to be if we're going to address the needs of our communities. Coming here today, I think, brings many of you from these different facets together so that we can begin to think about how we'll actually have new, innovative, effective approaches to engagement to really advance this work. When I think of some of the important things that we need to do to get there, we have to go beyond what has been viewed as the traditional way of engaging communities. And we need to think broadly about how to engage communities and individuals and patients from the top, being as co-leaders, as champions, and even directing their own work. And you'll hear about some of that, I hope, throughout the day as we have intended and tried to engage community members who are really participating in research in different kinds of ways. So not just as on the Community Advisory Board, but providing input in meaningful ways throughout the life of a research project. I think we then have to better understand really what the impact of this is on the research. So one of the challenges we have as we're trying to advance the science of community engaged research is we're always looking for metrics and measures, and how do we really understand what the value is and was of involving community members. And sometimes we really think about it only traditionally in recruiting and how do we get people involved in the research. And that's really not enough. We need to really understand and value the contributions of the community through all of the phases of research and in the integral parts of the program, including ethics and quality improvement of our programs. And one final area I think we need to begin to understand is we're hearing more and more about new programs that really intend to engage people in ways that we haven't studied before, in ways that they're not metrics identified. How will we make sure that this work really values community engagement in the way that many of you have worked so many years to do? That there's authentic trust and meaningful participation as we intend to engage all these communities across the country in these very large programs, and even in some that are smaller. And this is just an example of some of the work that we've been doing early as it relates to the Precision Medicine Initiative. And how do we ensure that as we intend to engage 1 million people in one single research program or a cohort program, that groups that are often not included in research are included. So those who are traditionally disenfranchised, but also going beyond that, those who will have difficulty accessing, health records and getting on the internet, and may be blind or deaf and really can't even begin to participate in the ways that others do. And to do that, we're going to have to think a little bit beyond the way that we've approached even our own work, so that we can come up with some new paradigms around this. So I'm incredibly excited about the work and the challenge that we have ahead of us. And in thinking about the conference and the curriculum that we've put together, I want to thank everyone on the organizing committee. These individuals have really pushed me to think differently about what we need to include. And as we came up with a charge to be more inclusive and participatory, you'll see that throughout the program with the learning labs, where we invited people to come and share their work, and also in the think tank, where we'll hopefully think together about how to solve some of these emerging problems. I'll ask the committee members to stand. So Philip Alberti, Karen Calhoun, Rhonda Koss, Lloyd Mishner, Meryl Suffian, Maria Pardos. Al Richmond is in Geneva, but hopefully he's online. He's supposed to be following us here. J.B. Smalley, Louisa Stark, and Hal Spelnick. And of course, Charles. Thank you. Thank you. We really want to make sure that we capture your ideas and get your feedback on the program, and not just the presentations and the interactions and the didactic pieces, but also on the program itself. So this is our planning committee. I can't imagine a more committed and dedicated group of people to help plan this. They have been very thoughtful in trying to make sure that this is a great experience for everyone. So I hope that it is, and I'm sure they would love to hear from you what you liked and what you would like for us to improve. So that's left to right, Matt Shore, Kim Avant, Alicia Fair, Virginia Fuquay-Meadows, and Carolyn Solomon. So join me in giving them a hand as well. And of course, I'd like to thank those who shared with funding some of this. Our institutions, Meharry Medical College and Vanderbilt University Medical Center, have been very kind and generous in support for this meeting. Most of that support has gone towards community members, so everyone who identified him or herself as a community member had free registration, so that was paid for by the institutions, as well as the travel for the community members who were invited to participate or leading the think tanks or on the program. I think that as we move forward and try and do more of these programs, we really want to make sure that we're engaging more community members as many as possible. And thanks to Community Campus Partnerships for Health and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Clinical Scholars Program for sponsoring the reception, the poster reception, which has some amazing work that we'll be highlighting later today. And so about you, this is pins of where everyone who registered to attend is from. We need to fill in the middle of the country a little bit to bring some people, but I hope that you will meet some people that you don't know. We have plenty of people, and this is not every dot, so this is just one location. If there's multiple people in these locations, I challenge you to meet some new people, get to know their work, and I would especially like you to meet community members. So for the community members who are here, if you feel comfortable standing or waving your hand, please do. And we really want to make sure that we hear you. If you're at the microphone, push other people out of the way. If you have comments, you can go first. We really want to get your input in, again, how we can improve and be more inclusive here. And so with that, again, the charge to everyone is to engage, share your ideas. We want to hear from you. We'll have the Twitter feed going, so post pictures, send notes, tell us what you like and what you don't like. You can say what you don't like to the end, if you like. No, we really do want to hear from you. So I applaud all of you. And one thing that I will say is, as we planned this meeting, our goal for the conference was 150 people. We had more than 200 who we kept trying to cut it off, and many of you called and said, please, and some people even said, well, I'm bringing my community member. I thought, okay, that's really how you get in. You say, I'm bringing my community member. So that's why we have the hybrid room. We wanted to add some chairs instead of rounds so that we can accommodate as many people as possible. So hopefully that's not inconvenient. So thank you again, and we'll move right into our first plenary. And I'm going to ask the first three speakers to join us here, and their bios are in the program booklet, so I won't spend too much time introducing them, but would just say that when we thought about how to set the stage for the meeting and who should be included, we really wanted to give some time to those who are in the field doing work, and then also beginning to think about what the clear charge or challenges are in this space. So we invited them to share some perspectives and ideas to challenge us, not just to revisit all of the things that have been done in the past. And I'm really looking forward to to their presentations.